um, preparation in life, I realize this is important, just in preparation. Uh, Daddy told us a lot of preparing, even, even to the point he was so serious about time that he knew. I ain't thought that was funny though. Yeah, that was funny. But you gotta understand everybody. It's it's not like, you gotta give grace. Like we was raised, you know. It's just little things that I learned in life. But so you need to start practicing that being on time.
Being on time for what?
You be on time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to relax. I mean, I'm mindful of it, but not to the point that I'm overbearing.
No, it's not like that, but I know, so I started time so that I could be on time.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think that part of me will ever change.
yeah, yeah.
It's part of integrity, being character. What's that saying?
We're just having a little conversation of just things how we grew up, and that was very important to our dad. It's about just time, but he was excessive with it. It was like we were right around the corner from the church, and we leave a half an hour early, But he said, be able to sit down and breathe and meditate. So when we got a little older, we was able to come on our own. We go run across that lot, but we still need to be there by a certain time. He was still big on time. But it played a very important part.
It's saying, um, on time is early.
I heard from that around that commercial, but it said, on time is late.
And I think on time is early.
Mm.
Uh, it's three things. I can't think of it. And late is unacceptable.
Okay. Well, hey there, everybody. We back. Restoring Awesome Warriors. I'm Jackie, your host. I have my co-host here, Gail Barron, the judge. Y'all watch out. We just come from off a long vacation. I got a lot to say. I didn't prep you on nothing that I'm getting ready to say, but when I'm well rested, it's about to be on. How you doing today?
Well,
Got rested.
I already doing the trip.
I know. Have you ever been in a car or on a trip with a bunch of people in the car and everybody sleep? Everybody. Everybody. You just driving. I thank God for strength. No, it's been a while since I drove that long, but I finally found the key to this.
With the sunflower seeds.
My sunflower seeds, I stopped eating that day after 3 o'clock. So when we used to, well, we still did it this time, but I waited till the morning. We pack all this food. We got to get the chicken. We have the lunch meat. The sandwiches are not made yet. The fun part is making the sandwiches while you're riding. The joy is in the journey. I so enjoyed this trip. It's been a long time since I've been away.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Uh, we had our family reunion. Uh, is it Maggie's siblings?
Yes.
It's on our dad's side, and had an opportunity to go to Georgia, and it was awesome. I was blessed to meet new family. They knew, but they knew to me because I didn't know them.
Right.
So that was interesting to me, that you have people in your life that you don't know nobody. I was walking around like a new kid on the block, like, what's your name? Really? But it was so relaxing. It was so, the hospitality was
Yeah.
off the chain. I want to send a shout out down. I know we use nicknames all the time. I know her name is Judith Ann, but Skeeter and family and those who put that together, you did a magnificent job. It was awesome. I felt at home.
Yeah.
I felt welcome, and it was just pleasant
They had something for every age.
every age.
I tell you, if I could got on that slide,
That was for kids.
I know.
Yeah,
But just the joy, the laughter, that was fun. Only thing I didn't like was those mosquitoes. Goodness gracious.
We went and got some SSS. Anybody know Skin So Soft from Avon? They tell us that's for repellent. But I think the more we put on, the more they came to us this time. I don't know what was going on with that, but we came prepared. They even gave us some spray down there, but those mosquitoes was nasty. I've always been that person. That's why I don't even like coming to your house. When you ask me for a barbecue or something, and sitting out there in that grass and stuff. So, but I did. I think I did good though. I was trying to go sit in the car for a while, and then come back.
They had some different kind of mosquitoes in there. Well, they like to swarm around your face, in your ears.
And they was just fanning like it was nothing. I was like, oh my God. But the fun made it. I got past that part because it was so fun. And okay, I'm gonna say this because this is just how I feel. That outside bathroom was awesome. They had, and you know what? It might be something that's not even new, but it was new to me. I'm used to these porta potties where you don't know who used them, whatever. They had an air conditioned outside restaurant. I appreciated that because I didn't even have to go to the bathroom. I was in there getting air. Oh my God, it was.
My husband was too. That's all he kept talking. You been in the bathroom yet? He was just going there just to go.
Well, it was one of our cousins. That's the first thing she said to me when she saw it. She said, check out the bathroom. I was trying to check out the bathroom. Nobody ever said nothing about check out the bathroom. But I understood after I went in there and saw what she was talking about. It was just everything. They're blessed people. And I was blessed to see our older cousin, Devon, looking good. I remember the days that back in our day when we used to go south every year. And that was one of the homes, places that we look forward to visiting. And I still felt that same vibe of just humble and good people. Yeah. So how we always say when we come on here that we're gonna give a update on our health, our eating. I let you go first about what you did on the trip.
Well, I was fine. I just picked out twice.
Twice.
Yeah. Friday night, the seafood boil, that fish,
Okay.
those shrimp.
Okay. So that was only two times?
Well seasoned. That was the first time.
Mhm.
And then Saturday evening, we was told bring our appetite.
And you brought it. Wow.
So that's the only time that I really got off my schedule.
Okay. Well, that was
I
allowed.
know it-
That was allowed. That was vacation. It was. But let me tell you what my story.
The minute we got
The
in the
minute
car,
we got in the car, it was like a spirit. I understand that spirit that dropped. Like I had a sandwich as soon as I got in the car. Now I
in the
wasn't
country.
in the crimping. I'm saying this is what we had when we was younger. You went on a trip. You had to have the fried chicken, pork chop, lunch meat, butterscotch crimping and tasty cake. Was that it? You had we had the skins, the Slim Jim or the beef stick. It's all this stuff that we was supposed to be off of.
Hot chips,
Hot chip, we had everything.
dipsy doodles.
Was nobody eating but me. They slept the whole time riding. I ate the whole time to the point that when we got there, I was too sick to go to the first night. Ain't that something? But I'm telling you, when I got back, I went on a 3-day fast. I made up for it. No, I had fun. I didn't do bad. It was just, I think sunflower seeds probably is bad because it was salty. You know, it's not the ones that's already unpeeled. But I really didn't do bad. It was just the point that I actually had the sandwich. And I had three before we got to Georgia. But I stopped. After that, I was done because I can tell you when you change eating habits, you can feel it. So I'm thanking God that I didn't push. I stopped. I stopped. So we brought most of it back, and your husband ate it. I was trying to throw some of the stuff in it, like get rid of it, but he said no. So you 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 had to deal with that with what was left over because he said he don't throw away food. He don't he too many people are starving, whatever he had. But for me, I was done. But I did good. So I've just given my report. I actually checked my um, sugar level, and it was good. It wasn't high, so I did good. So I'm still in the race. Our older sister's not down here. She didn't go on the trip, so I know she's supposed to be checking in too to see where she at. But we did good. I think we did good. So kudos to that. So I want to talk about a little bit, just an open conversation we had from off the trip about being on the trip. I got a chance to ride with 5 family members. Well, 4 family members and a friend of Tierra's, uh, which is Baltimore Mike. You learn a lot riding with people when you can fellowship and talk. It surprised me that I knew your husband for over my brother-in-law for over Erica's how old?
39.
She's 39 and I knew him before Erica. So over 40 something years. And this was the first time that we talked. Maybe it was because of the ride, and he sat up front. He was a shotgun runner. He hung in there with me till he got tired, sleepy. But how many of you have people in your life, all your life, and you really don't know them? It's a hi and goodbye. You cordial and everything, or you just, but you actually don't even know them. So I got to talk to him while y'all was asleep. And I think he knew that they were asleep because he started talking about sassy. I found out that my sister is sassy. Um, but when we left the last podcast, we said we were going to talk about relationship. And I said, you're going to let me know how you've been doing. Or, we were talking about, are you living or existing? What do it take to keep the relationship alive? So I want to clarify and get an understanding on what do sassy mean? Like, what are you doing?
I didn't know he called me that.
Oh yeah, you asleep. I got a lot of information. I got a lot of things I want to ask. What are you doing? What does sassy mean? You talking about? Are you non-compliant? what did it mean? 'Cause
Well,
he said it with a gusto. She
I
said,
don't think he's talking back. I voiced my opinion. I'm opinionated. And
okay, yeah, okay. You said it real mild, but that's not what he was saying. So I'm just trying to figure out, what are we're joking about it, but what keeps sometimes I learned him, I seen him, he's very outgoing. I knew that from the beginning. But this time I saw the outgoing. I came back and asked my sister, how do you do it? I couldn't do it. I'm not like, I'll do certain things and I gotta go rest. Y'all was on all the time. We had this talk a while back, living with a disability. He don't even act like nothing happened to you. Do that help you, or do you get tired?
I get tired, but I know my limit. I'll do this so much, and when I get tired, I'll say so.
Okay.
Um, because everywhere I go, people always want to give me a chair
Okay.
because of my condition. I don't want to sit there.
So before your condition, you was on the go-to.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So in his mind, he really not dealing, he still treats you like the girl he know.
Right, right.
So is that helpful? It has helped you?
It's helpful, but it's two-way street
Okay.
because part of him, we always want to go,
Mhm.
but now that he's retired,
Mhm.
he only retired because of his needs.
Okay.
And
Kind of
so
work he does, he got his knees.
right, and so he hasn't come to grips with that yet. So,
Okay.
and then last year he stopped drinking,
Okay.
and so all of this
So this
is a replacement.
Okay. All right.
I know that, I understand that, and
Mhm.
so when I get tired or if I think he's doing too much,
Mhm.
I'll tell him the rest.
Okay. She had telling him to rest. No, but that's a good segue to what keeps something from existing to living, because change of life, or change, like we older, or like you say, stop drinking or whatever else, what do you replace it with? And then some people can't sit down.
Yeah.
Like if he used to work, he was a hard worker. So you take that away, then what do you replace it with? So now he's out there in the garden, your front lawn and the back lawn. It was like I had to hear the whole thing. It's a replacement. So even when we came back and I had to take the rental car back, he came and he was already at Home Depot. It's just going, going, going. So I was just asking you because when my husband was living, we both was laid back. We worked. But when I came home, that was it. Even after we retired, you all know, I never was that person to go, go, go. But he made me tired of that. I was sad. He kept knocking on my door, telling me, let's go. I said, go where? I just drove 12 hours. But he was on the money, but he's an outgoing person. So that's something I learned. You don't know people until you have a conversation.
Yeah. But just like if he's going anywhere, like a week ago, we took the grandson to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So he don't go anywhere to sleep.
Okay.
He feels that if we drove a certain amount of miles,
You
we
don't
want
get
to
that
we
maximized.
want to get the maximum.
Okay.
And you will walk from one end of the boardwalk until the next. I let him do it, and I sit down.
You know that cart that ride on the boardwalk? We would have been on that. We would have been on that. Me and my
But
husband
when you
would have been.
got kids, you
I
know,
understand. I understand. But no, I'm joking about it. But I understand. But it's something that I wanted to talk about because what keeps people, the relationship or whatever it is, together? What if you succumb to your condition and that's what y'all was used to? That's how people start just existing. I have a couple people here that talk to me about what would I do now? My wife is sick. I wanted, she was outgoing. What do I do? So it's something to
you just
think
know your
about.
limits.
Yeah.
When I get tired, I sit down.
Okay.
Even with the disability and I'm living, but my body tell me when I need to rest.
Okay.
So I don't keep pushing.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let that. We're gonna go back to sassy. We're gonna go back to um. We always having a conversation. All five of us in the car, just talking. So I want to ask ladies.
Let me look that word up.
I just want to ask ladies. Do you yield the floor? Is that a problem that when they say, like my husband used to call me a nag, right? You remember this, right? But it was stuff that needed to be done in the house or something. And why that word? That's not. I didn't think that's what I was doing. I was just just needed something done. Is it just a play on words, what they want to use when they want you to move and do something? I'm trying to figure out.
So sassy means lively, bold,
But loudly and bold.
and
Okay.
plus spirit.
Oh, okay.
Um, so distinctively smart.
Now she
So
want to
I
ask.
don't know.
Now she want to read. She want to read the definition. I want to ask him what he meant.
You have to ask him
No,
because
it's
if
all.
I was to guess what he's talking about, he would be talking about a mouth.
Okay.
But sometimes it's because I think because of my disability, and we're the only ones home that he forgets that I'm a grown woman.
When he's trying to act like he's your father.
He acts like he's, the things that he be telling me, and I guess when I buck up or I say something to him,
Oh.
I'm grown, dog.
Even
Even though I got a disability,
you still have a mind.
I still have a mind. I make him do things like I used to do.
I'm laughing because he was the second driver. He was a passenger, but he was telling me like I had the GPS on and stuff. It was just funny. So if that's what like.
That's what
Sometimes you just have to let people just say they feel good by telling you. So sometimes it's a give and take. Sometimes no medicine. I had the GPS on, but he was operating the air. He was doing everything up there. But it was funny. But it's like y'all sleep. I need that air to stay awake. He said it was cold. He said it was cold. If it's hot, but he. I noticed when we was talking, and this probably helps someone. Sometimes you have to know what a person feel about what they're saying. Like they want you to listen to them. They want to have see. Look at our eyes. Y'all can't see it, but I'm being serious. It's give and take. I'm not saying they always right, but some people just want to be heard. That you hear them, and it can be something seriously wrong what they're saying, but give them chances to say. Because one time we was talking, you said something. You said, there she go, cut me off again." So and I know y'all understand each other, but for somebody else that's looking on, it would look like this happens all the time.
Oh, is that why he asked you, do I hear him?
Yes, I kept on saying, "Bill, do you hear what he's saying?" Because he kept saying it. But I didn't know the narrative. I didn't know what happened, but I know. And then you said, "You don't know what we talking about either." And he laughed, but I didn't know. So I had to get to know that he does that. You knew that.
Right, but what I am appreciative of, at one time, I couldn't be that open.
Okay.
One time, I bottled it. I wouldn't let people see that we didn't agree. But as I've stated before, I am becoming so liberated. What you see
That's what you get.
is what you get. And it doesn't mean that because you don't agree that your relationship stop.
Right. Right.
Or you gotta be angry, I'm learning to,
But that's what any relationship, whether it's a friendship relationship, you don't always agree. You can disagree and still have the friendship or whatever it is. You don't have to fall out over everything. We're two different people. I don't think like you. But I don't know if that was our training just to be quiet.
I didn't always
Take
feel
a
like
lot
I
of
feel
stuff. Yeah, I never voiced like I never just told my feelings and talk. I just let you say what you gotta say, follow. But to be able to speak, even if it's wrong, it feels good.
and it's important for me to do that because we had good parents, but we saw no emotion.
No emotion.
We heard no argument. We didn't know any disagreement.
Right.
So that was a false displayed for us,
Yeah.
and that's how we got our expectation.
Right.
And really, it harmed us because we didn't know how to be sociable or how to work in a relationship because we didn't see that.
Right. So you think that because somebody's loud or somebody disagreed, that it's the end. It was normalcy to have
Right.
some disagreements.
Right.
It doesn't mean the end, but
Right.
we never saw that in our home. Not one time.
Not one time.
And I know they had to not agree with everything, but you didn't see it. So
And you didn't hear it.
no, didn't even hear it. So when I look for someone, I look for someone like I said, daddy, but I got total opposites. But it was life.
Right.
But I didn't know how to deal with it. So when somebody howled at me or we had a good, I didn't even know what to do. In my first argument, I just probably made up some words just to because I wasn't used to even arguing. Just step it and go on. So yeah, it was a challenge. But this trip was interesting on that part for me to see. I guess knowing you as a sister, knowing what we do, because you used to hide a lot of stuff because of embarrassment of like you said, holding it in. But this trip, it was free. It was free to talk about the disagreements and the agreement. And when we, from start to finish, no one had an attitude. We came back laughing the same way we left. So I'm learning how to fellowship.
Yeah.
And
Socialize.
Socialize. And you don't even have to be on on the same page, but you just being people. Um, I thought about we just talking about family, talking about relationship. What's in your DNA? I saw a lot of my relatives. Got a chance to talk to a little bit with cousin Sue. Um, how important did you think now that it is to know history?
It's it's
I felt like I knew nothing. I didn't know anything.
it's important. It's important that you know your roots. It says
What do you know about your daddy? What do you know about your mother or where you come from? And some people might say, I don't need to know that. I think it's important. When I said I didn't know nothing, Harley, I think that was bad. But I'm thanking God that He gave me a chance and giving me a chance to talk and find out. Sometimes I saw some actions of my father, hard-working men down there. I saw, but I didn't know. And just a little bit of time that
not
we
just
talking,
men,
I know
not
the
just
women, but
men.
what I'm saying, it was just life for them to see well, not to see cousin Devon working, but to hear his mentality of work. I asked, why do they still have the cows in the thing? It was part of his inheritance. It was still in his mind to do. When he was talking, you can hear it. Well, I heard my dad, but I never knew. I know Daddy was a hard worker, but I didn't know that was part of your life. So it's good stuff, and it's bad thing. But I never heard none of it, hardly. So I don't know. And me and Darwin was oldest. They never talked about anything. So how much do you tell your children or someone that they can get to know?
Yeah. I
What's
think it's a disservice.
is it disservice?
I think so because um, having healthy roots uh, and to have it passed down generational wealth.
Hmm.
But if you don't know that, uh, like I have kids,
Hmm.
so I should have been bringing them up, teaching them, but I can't teach what I don't know.
Right, right, right.
It's a method to the madness.
So going back again to we have this podcast because our truth, our life. You can say what you want to say and what you feel about this. I feel, and I will stand on this. There is some things that cause separation, right? Um, whatever your truth is, for me, it was religion. Um, not God, religion that caused me or caused Daddy and them to be the way they were. Like, I think he was an outgoing person. I don't know what happened, what he thought, but we there's sometimes barriers of the reason why. So if I could speak to someone today, don't let causes or things cause barriers that is a separation that's unnecessary. It's very unnecessary and it's hurtful because you can be strength to each other, but if I don't even know you, I it's no relationship.
Right.
I met people that I wish I'd known when I was younger, but because and then you get set in your